Hello, this is Joe Pryor of the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, a part of Redbud Realty and Associates. We're into June, which is good news for Oklahoma City. At least at this point, we're out of the danger zone in terms of tornadoes. That typically ends in May. This is when weather gets a little weird here. And it got extremely weird in May, as many of you know, in that we had back-to-back EF5 tornadoes. That's two tornadoes that had over 200 miles an hour sustained winds, and in terms of winds even higher than that. And so a lot of properties were leveled in the Oklahoma City area. And so one of the questions that's on everyone's mind at this point is, should we put a storm shelter in? And after events like this, and we've seen 2003 and 1999, some large tornadoes come through, there is a big upsurge in people asking for storm shelters. And typically on these types of tornadoes, and for me, any kind of tornado, I want to be underground. That is the best way to survive. It is also the most cost-efficient way of getting yourself out of harm's way. So typically a storm shelter in times that are not so supply and demand oriented right now, with everybody wanting one, can be anywhere from $2,500 and up. It depends on where you put it, inside, outside, how big it is. But the other question I get quite a bit is I know safety is extremely important, I want it, but hey, I'm just curious, can it be added value to my home? And the answer is yes, it can. When an appraiser goes to a home and he appraises the value of that home, and let's say your home is built in 1985, so a lot of things probably need to be updated from 1985 in terms of how the house was designed, the materials that were used. So, we know the obvious thing. If you remodel the kitchen, if you remodel the bathrooms, then that's not a functional change like, okay, I've got new carpet in. Will that give me more value? The answer is no. That's expected that you're going to have wear and tear. But you're going to give credit for a $25,000 upgrade. So if we're talking about a house between $175,000 to $200,000, then there's a minimum maximum range where two things come into play. Number one, what is the absorption rate in a market? In other words, is it a seller's market or a buyer's market? Seller's market goes to the high end. And number two, what is the condition of the home? Does it have added value? And this is where a storm shelter, just like granite countertops and an underneath mount sink and upgraded faucets and cabinets, will really help you out. Now, if I take that $3,000 in-ground storm shelter, probably that roughly about $2,000 can be added in that added valuation that an appraiser goes for. Now, they're not going to give you 100% back, but you have to understand that, if you built a $50,000 pool 5-10 years ago and you want to sell your home, that pool's worth no more than $10,000, probably less, in terms of an appraisal. There's some things that are not good in terms of value. One of the best values I can think of is putting in a storm shelter. It's a good value because it adds value to your home, and it can also be that tiebreaker. It can make it more sellable to equal houses. I have a storm shelter on mine, so you buy my house because you feel the need for protection. And again, the second most important thing about this is safety for you and your family. That can't be overrated. That is something that an appraiser, a realtor, no one can put a price on. So if you're asking me what to do, and I don't think you have to be necessarily in a hurry to get it in right now, because we're out of the storm season, but I would say at this point, it's a good idea and a good investment to put money into a storm shelter in the Oklahoma area. This is Joe Pryor of the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, where we deliver traditional real estate values at the speed of technology.